do not know, my name is Ashley Scott and I am with DNA Fit. Thank you for tuning into my channel today. If you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on the notifications as we upload fitness workout videos, fitness tips, and nutrition tips. And you do not want to miss what we have. Today, we are going to be talking about nutrition. And as we know, nutrition is so important. Now, this picture right here, nothing changed with my workout regimen. The only thing that changed was my nutrition. And I am going to go over today what I did to go from a little extra, little extra cushion around the stomach to a tight toned stomach. Like I said, workout did not change. I did remain consistent in the gym and working out, but my nutrition is what made the biggest difference. And that is the one thing that so many people are missing. So let's get into it. So today we are going to be talking about nutrition. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about is sustainability. So many people can't stick to diets because they aren't sustainable. A lot of times people try keto or they drop their calories way too much. That's fine typically for a couple of weeks, but typically you can't sustain that because you're starving and it just doesn't work for you. So I am going to teach you a method where, one, you're going to be able to enjoy the foods you like. If you're enjoying the foods you like, then you're going to be able to sustain it for much longer. Another thing is you want to feel satisfied. If you're on a diet where you're still hungry and you're starving, once again, you're not going to be able to sustain it and you're going to end up most likely quitting. So I want to teach you a method where you can still feel satisfied throughout the day. Another thing, it has to be convenient and it has to fit within your lifestyle. As a mom, I don't have the time to make two separate meals. So I need something that my kids can eat and that I can eat. Another thing, I don't have time to meal prep all the time. I just don't. I don't have the mental capacity to do it. And I know a lot of you don't have it either. So I'm going to teach you a method that your family can enjoy. You can still eat out and have fast food. You can still go about your regular busy life. And with that, it's going to be you're going to be more likely to be successful. You're going to be able to sustain it for a long time. You can make it part of your lifestyle. So as we know, I don't know if you do know, but a common thing people hear is if you want to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. What does that really mean? So a calorie deficit means you eat less than you burn in a day. That is the only way that you can lose weight, lose fat. So the average person burns about 2,000 calories a day. Now, when I say people burn 2,000 calories a day, that's not just in the gym. I'm burning calories right now as I'm talking to you. You burn calories as you're sleeping. You burn calories every minute, every second of the day. And the average person burns 2,000 calories a day. So if you want to lose weight, you need to eat less than 2,000 calories. And we're going to get into that a little later on how many calories you need to be eating a day. Same thing applies if you want to gain weight, then you need to eat more than you burn in a day. So if you burn 2,000, you need to be eating more than 2,000. And to maintain, if you're happy where you are and you like your weight, then you want to eat 2,000 calories a day. And I'm using 2,000 just as an example. That's not where you are, could be, but it's just an example. So the 4 things that I want us to focus on when reaching our fitness goals are calories, protein, carbohydrates, and fat. So the 3 that I just discussed at the bottom, the protein, the carbs, and the fat, a lot of people will talk about macros, counting your macros, and they make it so difficult when they explain it. But it's really easy, and I'm going to show you the easy way to do it. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. So first, I want you to know how to read labels. So many people do not pay attention to reading labels. When I'm grocery shopping, I'm spending majority of my time flipping over, looking at labels. I'll look at something, I'm like, that looks bomb. I'm about to get up. No, I'm not about to get that, because I'll look at the calories, the carbs, the fat, and the protein. And if they don't fit within my goals that I need to hit, I'm not getting it. So that's what I want people to really pay attention, is understanding how labels work. And a lot of times people don't fully understand what they're looking at. They're only looking at the calories, or they're only looking at the sugar. And I'm going to tell you. So first, I want you to look at serving size. So this is something that it kills us. We'll go and we'll get a bag of, I'm just going to use Doritos for instance. And sometimes if you look at that bag of Doritos, it will say 2 servings. So we'll look at the bag and we'll say, oh, it's only 230 calories. Well, no, that's 230 calories in a serving. So really, if we want the bag of Doritos, we should only be eating half of that bag. So in this example, there's 8 servings in the container, and each serving is 2/3 of a cup. So what do we need to do? We need to get a measuring cup, and we need to measure out 2/3 so we know that we've only had 1 serving. If you're at home, use a measuring cup or a scale. But if you're not and you're out and about, then yes, you will have to eye it. So that's the first thing we want to pay attention to, is the serving size. The next thing we want to look at is total fat. So here, there's 8 grams of fat. That's good. Total carbohydrates, 37 grams of carbs. Could be good. It just depends on what your goal is. It's not bad. It just, all depends on, what your goals are. And then protein. This has 3 grams of protein. So those are the things we're going to be looking at: serving size, calories, fat, carbs, and protein when we're looking at the back of nutrition, the nutrition facts on the back of something. So pay attention to that. And also, when you go out to restaurants, most restaurants have the calories in the menu. And if you go on their website, a lot of the restaurants will have the whole breakdown as well. So, it's not just for the food you prepare at home. It's for the food you eat out and about as well. All right, so the first macro we are going to talk about is protein. Protein is so important. People do not realize the importance of protein. Protein helps us burn more fat. It helps us build lean muscle, and it makes you feel full for longer. So protein is the one macro that is so, so important, and so many people do not get enough of it. It's truly, I would say, in our natural way of eating, Americans don't really go to protein. Carbs is typically where we go to, and then we add a little, carbs is where we go to, and then we add a little protein. So protein is something we have to focus more on. And I always tell people, if you're feeling hungry, eat protein. That's what you want to go to. But typically when we're feeling hungry, what do we go to? Go to chips, carbs, cake, ice cream, carbs. But when you're feeling hungry, if you want to, lose weight or build muscle, pick some protein options, tuna, chicken, steak, seafood, Greek yogurt, beans. All of these are options of protein that you can eat. A protein shake. There are so many different flavors of protein. People sleep on protein. Now, DNA Fit, we have chocolate protein, salted caramel, and vanilla. So if you want to utilize that protein, that's great. You can make so many different smoothies, blend them up, make them, a chocolate smoothie, add, strawberries, bananas, and there's more out there. People have like lemon cake protein and, buttercup protein. So there's so many different options out there that you can get your protein in. So when you're feeling hungry, go to protein. Now, carbs are not bad. A lot of times people want to cut carbs when they're trying to lose weight. The thing we have to remember is we just have to focus on what carbs are we going to eat. So the carbs that we want to focus on and we want to make sure are part of our diet are fruit, beans, oats, like oatmeal in the morning, sweet potatoes, brown rice, quinoa, those are all good carbs. Carbs is where the body gets the energy from. Now, if you have too many carbs, the body stores the rest of those carbs as fat, and that's typically what happens. So the carbs we want to avoid, we want everything we love to eat, right? Everything we love to eat is the food we want to avoid or we want to limit. So chips, candy, cake, ice cream, donuts, cereal. Breakfast is typically, there's a lot of carbs that a lot of us eat for breakfast. Pancakes, waffles, donuts, cereal with milk, bagels, and those are all the things we want to limit. We want to limit it. So I'm not saying you have to completely cut it out your diet, but you have to watch what you're eating and limit it. Limit it to that cheat meal once a week that, you can have. But do not eat these things every single day. Pasta, which we love so much. So we just want to limit those things. I'm going to give you some examples of some replacements that you can have. Because the sweet tooth is still going to be there. And we don't want to deprive ourselves. So here are some options of things that you can swap out. So if you're craving some ice cream, you can try a fruit parfait. Chick-fil-A has a really good one. Candy bar, protein bars. This protein bar I get at Target. They have them on Amazon, the Think Protein bars. I love those, the caramel ones. It really does taste like, it fulfills that chocolate bar craving you might have. Soda, we want to avoid soda because it has so much sugar in there, which it's not conducive to what we're trying to reach in our fitness goals. So we want to avoid soda. So instead of drinking soda, try like seltzer water or diet soda. And then a lot of times I hear people say, well, I don't drink soda, I drink juice. If you look at the back of the nutrition facts on juice, a lot of times it has the same amount of calories and sugar and carbs as soda. So juice is not always good. So instead of juice, maybe try like infused water, Crystal Light, just things that can, fulfill that craving but don't have all the sugar and calories. So here are just some swap outs. Instead of candy, get some fruit. Instead of cookies and cake, like I said, make a chocolate protein shake, blend it up with some ice. Burgers, try protein burgers. Those are really good where you eliminate the bun and they put the lettuce around it. So there's different things that you can do to swap out to fulfill that craving that you may be having and still satisfy it, but satisfy it with healthier options. And like I said, you don't want to deprive yourself so much that you just say to hell with this and you quit. So, if you absolutely have to have it and you have to feel that urge, just take a little bite, get the craving and then be done with it. Macro we're going to talk about is fats. Now, fats are something that you really don't have to concentrate really getting into your diet because we usually get enough in them with the cooking oil we cook with or that, restaurants cook with, avocados that we might put on things, cheese, salad dressing, nuts. So these are the things, you do want to be mindful of, but you're naturally going to be getting your fats, but you do want to be mindful that you're not getting too much, but we'll get into that shortly. So the way we are going to figure out all of this, I said we want to make sure we're paying attention to our calories, our carbs, protein, and fat. Well, how do we know how much we should be consuming and how are we going to track this? Because we're busy. We don't have time to keep up with this. So the one thing that helped me, and that first picture I told you from going from fluffy to tight, was MyFitnessPal. And it was just tracking everything I ate in MyFitnessPal. And in order to track properly, you're going to have to measure things out. In the beginning of the video where we talked about the nutrition facts and it said 2/3 cup, you actually have to have 2/3 cup. A lot of things are, weighed out. You might see the back of a nutrition fact says 2 ounces or 4 ounces of salmon. So you'll have to take that salmon and place it on a food scale, which you can get from Amazon. I'll put the link below for one. And you want to measure your food as well. So you want to track everything in MyFitnessPal. And I am going to go over how you track it. And then the next thing we're going, and then you have to track everything. Sorry. A lot of times people forget to track the margarita that they had at the restaurant, or the ketchup or the barbecue sauce that they put on their chicken nuggets. Those things have calories, they have carbs. So we want to make sure that we're tracking that so we know that if we're hitting or exceeding our goals. So track everything. So let's get into how we are going to be tracking. I'm going to go over how to set up your MyFitnessPal and what you need to be paying attention to. So the first thing you want to do is go to the App Store and download MyFitnessPal. I already have it, so it will either ask you to download, update, or open. So I'm going to open it. The first thing you want to do is go to More at the bottom right-hand corner, and then you will go to Profile and make sure your profile is updated. So I'm going to hit Edit. You want to make sure your height is correct, the sex, and your date of birth, as this is going to be crucial in calculating your nutritional goals. Once you have that updated, you can go back, and then you will hit back again. The next step you want to go to is your goals. You are going to put your starting weight. If this is your first time using the app, your starting weight and your current weight will be the same. Then you will enter in your goal weight. Next, it's going to ask you how many pounds a week you would like to lose. If you need to lose between 0 to 10 pounds, I recommend that you stay between a half a pound or 1 pound per week. If you have between 10 to 20 or more pounds to lose, then you can go to 1.5 to 2 pounds per week. So once we select that, then you want to select your activity level. If you work in a very active job as like a postman delivering, mail, or you're on your feet constantly, then you want to pick active. If you're lightly active, select lightly active. And if you have a desk job, I would put not very active. So I'm going to put active. I would stay away from the very active because it may increase your calories by too much. But for myself, I'm going to put active, but please select accordingly for yourself. So now that we have that, we are going to go to the nutrition goals. So it has calculated that my calories each day that I need to consume is 1,900 calories. Yours will be different based on what you have entered. From here, we are going to adjust the percentages of our macros. So we're going to click on carbohydrates, and I want you to adjust your carbohydrates from 20 to 25%. I'm going to do 25%. The protein, we are going to increase to 40 to 45%. And then the fat, we are going to put at 30%. Just make sure that your totals total up 100%, or it won't let you check it. So make sure that these percentages are updated, because this is also crucial into how much weight you are going to lose. So after that, we have all our goals calculated. So now you can hit back. And we want to go all the way back to the dashboard. Now that you're back at your dashboard, you can go to diary. And now I'm going to go through adding your food. So we are going to add our food. Now let's just say you had an egg. You can type egg here and it will come up. 1 egg. You want to go to add. 1 large egg. Did you have 1.5 eggs, 2 eggs? You want to make sure you update the serving. So I am going to put that I had 1 egg, and I am going to hit check. You can get as detailed as Farmer's John bacon. So if I know I had Farmer's John bacon and I'm looking at the back of my bacon package, I'll see that, the bacon that I had was 50 calories. It was 1 slice of bacon. So this is the one that is correct. I'm making sure that it matches what package I'm looking at, and I am going to add that. It also has meals on here from restaurants. Let's say you went to Denny's and you had a fajita omelet, you can insert in the Denny's fajita omelet. And here it is, fajita chicken omelet, and you can add that. Now you want to make sure you are adding the small things that we forget about. Let's just say you put some ketchup on that fajita omelet. You want to make sure you log the ketchup and make sure you change these servings, if you had 2 servings or 1 serving, and hit check. So once you've logged everything, then you can hit back. So now you'll see that your breakfast was 890 calories. I had the egg on there, the bacon, and the fajita omelet, and the ketchup. It added it twice. So if there was something that got added that you didn't want to, you can just swipe to the left and delete. You can always just click on things to edit as necessary as well. So you would do that for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you can also add multiple snacks. And you can track your water. So now this is not the only thing you want to look at. So now you want to scroll to the bottom and you can look at your nutrition. So from the nutrition, it's just showing me calories. So at the top, I'm going to go to nutrients. And here, I'll see that just with breakfast, I had 51 grams of protein. I had 23 grams of carbohydrates, and now I know how much I have left. I have 165 grams of protein left, 97 grams of carbs, and 4 grams of fat left. So now I can plan my upcoming meals accordingly. I know that now my lunch and my dinner need to be very low in fat because I had high fat for breakfast. Now let's just say it's almost impossible to get 4 grams of fat for the rest of the day. It's going to be more. But now I can actually go back, and let's hit an X, and I can see and start to analyze what took my fat up so high. And if I look at that fajita omelet, I'm going to realize that fajita omelet had 52 grams of fat. So there's nothing I can do about it now. I've already eaten it, but now I can plan accordingly for next time. And next time I might get an egg white fajita chicken omelet, which wouldn't have near as much as fat. Another thing you can do is before you eat, you can log your food, and then you will know exactly how much you need to eat. So you don't have to look in retrospect, you can actually plan ahead. This is everything you need to know about MyFitnessPal. People think that tracking their food can be cumbersome, but really what happens is as you sit down or as you're cooking, just start inputting things. As you're eating your food, input it in. If you know you're going to be going out to a restaurant, input, I like to look ahead. So when I go to that restaurant, I know what I'm going to eat. So I'll input it prior to. So when I sit down, I know what to order. So it's really, it takes a little bit of time. But if you try to wait to the end of the day to track everything, that's when it's going to become too cumbersome. But if you're doing it as you go, oh, I'm eating this protein bar, eat it, moving right along. It doesn't take long, and it just has to become a habit. And I promise you, if you do this and you're also working out, you will hit your goals. If you are just working out, but you're not getting the nutrition portion of it, you're not going to hit your goals. I'm sorry. And I'm living proof of it. I will bust my ass off in the gym and I'm not getting results. And as soon as I dial in my nutrition, and when I mean dial in, track it in MyFitnessPal, that is when I see the difference. And when you're not tracking, I hear time and time from people, oh, I eat good. I'm doing good. I'm like, well, how do you know? Well, I ate a salad. I'm eating, a lot of fish and a lot of this. And then when we start tracking it, yeah, they're eating all those things, but they're eating too much of those things. So there's just so many variables that you can think of. And instead of trying to figure it out, let the app do it for you. Let technology work for you. And I promise you, if you do this, just try it for 4 weeks, you're going to see a difference. So I hope all of this information helped. I hope you learned a lot. Please comment below any questions you have. I will answer all comments. So let's get to it, you guys. I promise you, if you implement these techniques, you will reach your fitness goals. Whether it is losing weight, toning, or building muscle, you will reach your goals if you follow what I have went over today. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, comment below, and turn on your notifications so you know when I post other videos. Everything I mentioned with the subscribing and commenting, you are supporting me, and thank you. And I appreciate you for watching. Enjoy, and I will see you soon. Check out a great workout. I'll see you soon. Let's work out together.